What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. Today I was editing some stuff in Sony Vegas, and I figured while I'm at it, I might as well do a little tutorial on what I'm doing. So what I'm doing today specifically is just editing a few tracks together for a little mini montage. Nothing too fancy, but some cool clips that I had lying around. So one thing that a lot of people do is overdub audio, especially in things like montages and even in like day-to-day just recording. Say you hit a really cool shot, even if it was just for like a normal gameplay, but your buddies are talking over you in Skype or whatever, and it just ruins it, or the announcer is talking over everything in game. It can be a bummer. So here's what I would do, and you can do, to fix that and really just clean up your overall audio mix for anything, really. I mean, this is more specific to a montage because obviously that's what I'm working on, but you can take these tips and apply them to pretty much anything. So one thing that I wanted to show you right off the bat was what this baseline audio track, what did it sound like in the game, and what am I working with right off the bat. So I'll go ahead and play this little clip here. So as you can hear there, there's quite a bit going on, but the explosions in the background started covering up some of the gun sounds, and then you can hear the announcer talking. It's kind of going to be hard to work with if I really wanted to use that clip. So what I'll go back and do is, you can see I have a few tracks here. I hit C4 kill on that tank. So I overdubbed the C4 here, I overdubbed that little no-scope shot, and then I overdubbed this little shooting the guy on the bike. So what that would sound more like, I'll leave the music out for this example, is like this. So you can hear there's a lot going on there, and I should preface this by saying this is like a C4 from Battlefield 3. This is just an audio clip that I had lying around. I mean, you don't have to use the exact weapon, and even when I get it further into this, you'll see that I didn't use the exact weapon. So you can make it sound cooler than it really is. To me, the M40 kind of sounds bleh in Battlefield 4, so I went over and recorded a few different things and then mashed them together, and then it got that sound. So I'll show you how to do that in just a second, but I wanted to show you the end result of what you can have, you know, in a big montage, and you're not muddying up your mix. So you can really hear the music is pumping in the background and those gunshots are coming through, but you don't have the announcer in the background or anything like that. So this is a great way to clean up your tracks, like I was saying before, and really keep your headroom clean too. You know, you don't want to be clipping your outputs and having a bunch of junk in these files here. Just your baseline audio can really cloud up the whole mix. So if we can just go through and have our specific shots come through the mix, that's going to be really helpful. So enough about the explanation, let's get into it and I'll show you how it's done. Alrighty, so obviously we're in the test range in Battlefield 4, and this is where we're going to record our overdub. So I'm going to start with my M40, my first weapon I was going to use. And we're just going to go in the test range. One thing you may have to do really quick is shoot down this. So now that you got that out of the sky, we can crack off a few shots. So we'll start. So that sounds pretty cool. Another thing you can do is go into your audio tab and put on war tapes. This is just ultra compressed audio. This is specific to BF4, obviously. So that's going to give you some long reverb tails and things. And then I'll switch back to headphones here. You can go over to these guns, and this is what I was talking about when I was saying we're not necessarily using the same sounds that we're using in game. So stupid thing spawns. You'll have to be careful when you're recording your tracks. But we can go over here and just crack off a few rounds of this. So now we have a few different audio options, and we'll combine those in Vegas to make one really cool big sniper rifle shot. So be right back. Alrighty, so we're back in Vegas, and I have my few little gun shots here. So what we're going to do is go back and just cut a few out. So S is split, obviously, in Vegas, in case you didn't know. So I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to delete that one. Then we have our war tape shots. I think it was this one. So I'm going to take that one. And then we have our big Barrett shot. So I'm also going to take that one and then delete that. And then these clips you can hit U on. U as in underground. And we can delete the video because we don't need the video, we just need the audio for this. So I'll separate them into 3 tracks here. As you can see, I have them labeled gun 1, 2, and 3. And then what we're gonna do next is line them all up. So this can be a little tricky, but just take your time and it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And if you need a little help lining them up, if your audio is a little quiet, you can always go to Properties, Normalize, and this will make it as loud as possible without clipping. That's just by right-clicking Properties, Normalize. So now I have a better view of the waveform, and obviously the M40 wave signs are sine waves are gonna look quite a bit similar, but unfortunately the 50 cal is gonna look different just because it's a different gun, it's a different noise. So this is gonna have a bigger crack. That's what this big, all these lines together right here is the crack of the gun, and then this is kind of the tail end reverb. So you can do your best to line them up. They're obviously not going to line up perfectly. So that's a cool noise, but I probably don't want it to be the primary one. So I'm going to take that down, let's say -10, and just go through your tracks and listen to them. That one's cool, but it's going to have a lot of background noise as well. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And oops, we're going to go with something maybe along these lines. So that's a really cool sounding clip, and I'll just delete the tail end of these. Then we're gonna add in a little bit of a fade out here, and we'll take off the front end as well. So our audio tracks look something like this. I might even take down the war tapes just a little bit more. And we hear a little bit of the action on the gun, you can hear, is kind of overlapping. So I might even shorten up this 50 cal a little bit. So I just get the initial crack of it, but not the tail end of it. I might have to take the war tapes down just a touch. So that gives us a big crack with a nice long reverb tail on the end as well. And I apologize, that shouldn't be clipping right there. So that'll be the base of our new sound. I'll just highlight that, and we'll render as a, I think this works fine, just the CD transparency audio. You don't need anything too fancy, so just render. I did this just a second ago to test it, and boom, there you go. And so there's our file right here, and give me just 1 second, I'll show you how to use it. So now I found a little clip here, just a little, it's nothing special, but you can hear it's 2 shots back to back. There's an announcer in the background, and I just got a ribbon that's making that shling noise on top of that. So that's going to be kind of distracting if it were in a montage. And one thing I will do is normalize this again, just so I can visually see it a little bit better. So now I'll just go in, take my imported file of my gun sound, and line her up again, and just try to find like waves. You know, it's pretty straightforward, and these don't have to be spot on if you're not mixing in very much of this game audio in. So what I'll do once I get it where I want it is go ahead and turn down the game audio. And then you'll see, well, oh crap, well we have a reverb tail here, and then we already have another gunshot. What we don't want to do is take this down and have something like this, because you can hear that reverb tail got cut off, and then the next shot's already going. It doesn't sound natural. So what we can do is create another track. So the reverb tail of this first shot can ring out just how it normally would. And then our second shot can crack off in another track. Just make sure these 2 tracks are the same and they're at the same volume. So just make sure they're identical, otherwise you'll have some weird flip-flopping going on. So obviously that replaced it. I got rid of the announcer, I got rid of that ribbon shimmering, and you are set to go. Like I said, any questions, just leave them below, and go edit a montage or something. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching the video. We'll see ya.